Happy rails to you. Welcome back, my friends. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Thanks for watching this channel and the videos. Sometimes they go real fast and sometimes they're slow. Happy rails to you. Thanks for watching in. Hello, welcome back. J-Man, My World 67. Good to see you again. Glad you could make it. From the last video, I showed you 3 6-inch Marx 10 litho cars. Unfortunately, I'd already done 2 of them, and so the only thing I could do was give you a review of what I had done. But then I showed you this Marx number 694. And it's got the lithograph frame. Some call it the skeleton frame. The frame on this one was actually the best frame out of all of them. But like the tanker, it had some of the worst damage. Right down to this is even rusted through. So what I was going to do was I was going to take it off and clean it up, which I'm still going to do. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to restore this. But I also found this shell, which is almost perfect. It's number 552 CRIP or CRIMP, which is Rock Allen. Gondola. And so I didn't have a red one up and going in my collection, and so I'm going to take this shell, and I found this today in my handy dandy little junk parts box down here under my desk. And this is a tender or a caboose chassis. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to, this needs repainted. It's otherwise in nice shape. It's not all bent up. I'm going to take it and take the shell off of the 694. Even though this has the frame, and I can repair this damage, and I'm going to make it look good. But it's not going to be comparable to the chassis. So I've already began to take this loose. And so we're going to break this down. I'll clean up this chassis, and I'm going to put the 552 gondola on this chassis, which technically it won't be original, but by the placing of the two together, and they will be same era and original Marx parts all the way. And that will give me a extra special gondola. Value-wise, the gondola would be worth more um, than this, even after it's repaired. So, and let me say this, I'm not into the value of trains. I'm glad that some of them do have a value that's greater than others. All I care about is getting them up and going, having them running again, having them looking nice, and running good, and salvaging them so that somebody else can get some usage out of them at some point in time. And then while I have them, they look good. I can look over at them and be pleased with what I've accomplished. Saving something from the past. But anyway, so, and this is going to be a much nicer looking piece, and it'll still fit in with the other two that we've already done. All right. I'm going to take this apart and we're going to clean it up. As I said, I'd already started it. I think I've got all the tabs apart. I've got the ladders apart. So let's see what we've got. Simple enough. This seems to be really heavy, heavy gauge 10, a little heavier than the rest of it. And that's because this is pre-war. Yeah, it weighs as much as two of them normal. We're going to take this off. And this is a good part to, if we wasn't going to use that and just toss that cap, we could just keep this parts because they're hard to come by. So we're going to clean that up also. And we're going to get this cleaned up. We're going to take off the couplers, clean them up separately, and put them back on. Hope you're all doing well today. I'm feeling pretty good today. Had a little rough patch over the weekend. We were busy with the church. And it was a good weekend. And a couple of nights I stayed up later than I should have. Well, more than a couple, I think. And so, because of that, I was really tired. Now we have to bend these tabs down. And I'll show you one here in a minute. The other one I haven't taken out yet. Straighten that up some while we're in there. Okay, you see the tab? This one just came right out. But you see the tab on the bottom, right there? And the tab usually has to be bent back. This one's going to come right out. That doesn't usually happen. I'm going to straighten it up anyway. The thing about straightening these, You don't want to do it too fast. You don't want to go too far with it, because they'll break. Especially when they're old and rusty. All right. You see we've got some rust here. That's where the coupler was sitting. And the rust actually pretty much came off of the coupler. So we're going to clean this up. Ordinarily, I would repaint it. But I don't want to get any paint on the lithography. As you know, on these, I had to redo some of the lithography on them. Like the steps on this one. These bars. This one's almost perfect. Actually, except for a few scratches, it is perfect. So, just going to clean it up and we'll see how it looks after we clean it up. We might take a magic marker or take some black brush paint and touch it up. But let's see how it goes, shall we? While we're at it, we're going to clean this other one up too. It just needs clean so it can be painted. So we're going to get it clean. All right. Be right back. Okay. Well, I got the frame repainted, and that we were going to use for the caboose. And I decided to go ahead and detail the springs and so forth on the sides. You can see them there. I don't know if you can see them or not. Let me bring it up here. Maybe you can see it a little better. There you go. So, I went ahead and detailed them, and that looks a whole lot better. And once I do the caboose shell and get this done, that'll really make that a nice caboose again. Once we get this fixed. Now I've still got to spray this with clear. All right. And here is the lithograph frame. I got it all touched up. Got the couplers done on it. I had to go ahead and hook this coupler up differently. I had to use a screw for this coupler because the end of it broke off. And remember earlier I had mentioned that these you have to be real careful with when you bend them back, and then go to bend them back, because they will break off, especially because of their age. So, but it's okay, because we always have another way to fix it. And so we just drilled a hole down through the coupler, the end of the coupler, drilled a hole ahead of the slot that was factory made to put it closer, because now it's almost a 1/16 of an inch shorter. And so we brought it up and put the screw through, and that allowed us to reinstall the coupler. The other one, of course, is still the way it was from the factory. But there's the frame, and it's been touched up. Got to take it out, take them both out, and spray them with clear. I'm going to bring them back in. I'm going to go ahead and put the Rock Island gondola together. Put that shell on this frame. Get the wheels back on it, and it will be complete. I'm going to take the other frame, which will be completely done once we get the clear on it, except for putting the wheels on it. And we're going to get the wheels out of the wheel sets box and put it together. And then we'll work on the caboose shell and assemble it. And these engines will be totally completed. All right. See you in a little bit. I'm going to paint these and let them dry. Hey everybody, I'm going to conclude this particular video, this part 2, and going to do a part 3 to this, as we ended up taking some time building the gondola car that we wouldn't normally have done, and then we have the sanding and preparation work to do and the painting to do to the other car, the caboose. And so we're going to end this one right now. As I always say, if you enjoy working on your trains, remodeling, refurbishing, custom work, whatever it is that you enjoy doing in your trains or your layout or your hobby in general, if you enjoy it even half as much as I do, you should have happy rails. That's all for now. We'll see you in part 3. Bye-bye.